Mahavishnu was still looking at the queen of mountains, Mena, and gave her good advices. All that is seen is Lord Shiva, says Veda Shiva Agamas. First we think a wooden log to be a man, a rope to be a snake, and the shell to be silver. Only later we realize what we thought to be a man is not a man, is only a log of wood. What we feared as snake is not a snake, just a rope. And what we got fascinated and thought to be silver is not silver, is just a shell. Only after we know the truth, our doubt will be cleared. Like that, first make it clear in your mind this whole world is a second appearance for Shiva. Only after coming out of our ignorance and attaining wisdom, we will realize the truth that even this world is not a second appearance for Shiva, but this is absolutely Shiva, Shiva Mayam. For example, I'll tell you another truth. An actor who dresses up himself in different costumes will carry various looks. Only his makeup and dressing up will vary. The person remains the same. Whoever does not know the truth believes the actor to be a different person. Who knows the truth that he is in a disguise will laugh. Like that, like this only, people who do not know the truth will think this world to be Shiva's second appearance. But Jnanis realize the truth that whatever we see and what not we see are all Shiva. I will tell you another example here. A man puts on dresses and ornaments. He puts them in different ways. He also will appear in different forms. But whoever wears all that will remain the same. Like that only, Shiva Swarupa, when it gets along with another aspect, it appears differently. But when we research and find out, we will realize all to be Shiva. Until we have the thought of I and mine, as we say, I did this work or this house is mine, we remain bonded. Only when we come out of this ahankara, we will realize we ourselves are Shiva. Spadika, along with the hibiscus flower, will appear in a different color. Like that only, Lord Shiva, along with Prakriti, appears in different forms. Shiva Tattva is an all complete Brahman than Prakriti. We ourselves have not realized this fully still. You leave your miseries and serve Lord Shiva. Thirumal said so, such that she will become devoted to Lord Shiva. At that time, Narada Muni, with a pranky smile, said to Lord Shiva, O bridegroom, your mother-in-law Mena scolded each one of us. Even before he said that, Lord Shiva, out of his affection over his devotees, appeared in a divine form such that all will get infatuated by his looks. Narada again looked at Mena and said, Mother, look at your son-in-law now. The whole world will be amazed at seeing his great beauty. At that time, Mena gazed at Lord Shiva, who was as radiant as the rays from a crow or Surya, with a cool look, elegant smile, grand ornaments, most noble crown, and costliest dresses. All devas were serving for him. Surya Dev holding umbrella, Chandradev fanning, Ashtama Siddhis including Ahima, Mahima acting, young girls like Ganga fanning Chamara, Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra and other devas shouting Jaya, Jaya. Big sages praying to him in different ways and coming holding flags. Gandharvas like Vishvavasu along with Devatasis like Ramba and Menaka put on different makeups and sang songs. Shiva Ganas played mridangam and other musical instruments. Shruti and Smriti, parts of Vedas, took a form and went in front. Decorated oceans and rivers went in front. Lord Shiva was in such a bright radiance. Nobody is as skilled to describe that form of Shiva. Lord Shiva was in such a divine auspicious form that Rani Mena, on seeing him, stood like a doll with no movements and no thoughts in her. After some time, her mind got cleared and she said, as Devas said, he has attained such a physical form. To attain him as her husband, my daughter Parvathy should be really blessed. That is why she attained such a fascinating, charming Shiva as her husband. Thinking so, she espied his each part of the body and got much happy. She wanted to see him for some more time, but she felt shy to do so. Lord Shiva came fully dressed up and decorated along with Devaganas to Parvataraja's palace. At that time, Brahma and Mahavishnu came on either sides and Lord Shiva came in between them. On seeing him, Mena did puja to him. To announce the arrival of the bridegroom, 18 types of drums and other instruments were played. On hearing to that sound, all the women in that city left the work they were doing all as such, and came running with the eagerness and desire to see the bridegroom. Komalangi, while applying fragrant things on her body after bath, wife who was fanning to her husband while he was doing puja, a mother who was feeding her child, left a child behind, and all came running. A girl who was putting hip chain held that in her hand and came. A girl who was applying kajal to her eyes applied in one eyes and holding that in one hand, she came without applying for another. A girl who was seeing mirror came holding that mirror in her hand. A woman who went to serve her husband while eating came along with a rice pot. A woman while taking bath applied turmeric to one leg, came running without applying for another leg. Like this, everyone left their work as such half completed and half incomplete, came running to see the most auspicious Lord Shiva decorated as bridegroom. They saw the most handsome Sundara Rupa Shiva with their wide opened eyes, saw more and more of him and were surprised, their open mouth being opened, forgetting to wink their wide opened eyes, stood as a doll without any movement. All of them were united with Shiva in their mind. Everybody stood there infatuated by the grandeur of Shiva. When they came out of their carried away state, that city people looked at each other and said, "Ah, it is because of the severe penance our Princess Parvati did. She was fortunate enough to attain such a handsome Lord Shiva as her husband. The name Mangalamurti will best suit him. Whoever saw with their eyes the Mangalamurti of this name will get many blessings. Since Parvati did severe penance and attained this handsome Purush as her husband, she is fortunate and have done all her duty. Her penance gave big benefits. How good is Brahma's efforts to unite them? Like gold and gemstones came together, as how Lakshmi and Vishnumurti got married. So Parvati, who attained Sambhava Murti, Lord Shiva as her husband, will enjoy all comforts. Saying so, they submitted fragrant flowers and akshata in the name of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was much happy to hear to what they speak. Parvataraja took Lord Shiva along with his parivar to the place of marriage. Brahmadeva came forward to do the job of Prohit. He sat along with the Saptarishis in the four-cornered marriage pavilion and did all the marriage rituals. Parvataraja and Rani Mena took bath and came decorated with dresses and ornaments. Parvataraja, as per the rules in the Shastra, said his Gotra, gave water to Lord Shiva for ceremonial washing of feet and hands, also gave him silk dresses, tilak, flower garland, and gold haram, and prayed to him, and sat on the decorated platform along with Mena and consecrated Agni. As married women sang auspicious songs, Lakshmi and Saraswati, as Parvati's friends, called Parvati from Queen's apartment with much respect, holding her hand, and made her sit as a bride near Lord Shiva. Brahmadeva said mantras, Mena poured water, Himavan washed the holy feet of Lord Shiva. He and Mena sprinkled that holy water over their head and sipped in, considering themselves to be most fortunate. They held Parvati's hand and kept on Lord Shiva's holy hand and said, I offer my daughter Parvati to you. Saying so, he gave Parvati in marriage to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, much elated, did Mangalya Dharana with his holy hand in Parvati's neck. The sages and devas in the marriage hall all blessed them. Married women submitted akshata and prayed. Devas put fragrant karpaka flowers, played the drums, and all the worlds were in joy and ecstasy. Both the couples, Parvati and Paramashiva, came around the Agni. Lord Shiva performed the ceremony of keeping Uma Devi's foot on the grinding stone. Highly virtuous Arundhati came praying before them. Dhruv and Saptarishis also came before them. They made Lord Shiva and Parvati to sit again on the royal seat. They sang stotrams from Veda and blessed them. They looked at Parvati and Lord Shiva and praised them, saying, "You are mother and father of the whole world. We are fortunate to attain you both as our mother and father." Gandharvas and Apsaras played musical instruments, sang and danced. They said, very happily, Parvadraja, his clan, and his family life all reached its greatness and all benefits. Seeing the newly wedded couples, Lord Shiva and Parvati all praised them. After praying to Kuladevata and immersing the armlet in water, Lord Shiva folded his hands and adored and blessed, seeing the Saptarishis, Satpurushas, versatile geniuses, and Devas. Himavan also prayed to all. Brahma, Vishnu, and other devas were dumbfounded seeing the puja donations Himavan gave to all. Nobody ever saw or heard so much being given. They could neither tell anything nor exhibit anything. Everybody there received the honor and were much happy. Devas and great sages who were prayed by Lord Shiva and Himavan were much happy on the way they were honored. At that time, Parvadraja said, "It was your presence and cooperation that made my birth survival and my grahasthashram purposeful." His wife Mena said, "My clan is purified. I attained all praises because of my daughter Parvati. If she had not been born as my daughter, will Lord Shiva, Tirumal, Brahmadeva, all other devas, sages, yakshas, and garudas all come here? Can we ever see them? You all are most fortunate, so you all should forgive me for all that I spoke earlier." Devas were much surprised to hear that. They said, "Mena, you have completed all your duties. Can we ever say the result and consequences of giving Parvati in marriage to the protector of the world, Lord Shiva? The glory you attained on attaining Parvataraja as your husband and Parvati as your daughter can never be described. The way you spoke earlier in anger, we take it as a pleasure. May your happiness increase. May your Aishwarya increase. We will bid goodbye." They blessed Parvadraja and Mena and received their namaskar and started. As newly married couples, Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi started to Mount Kailash. Parvadraja and Mena went along with them and left at Kantamadana Parvat. From then on, mountains became fortunate. Hari, Ayan, Indradev, along with other devas, great sages, all playing all their musical instruments and dancing, reached Mount Kailash with a great celebration. They made Parvati to Graha Pravesh into Lord Shiva's palace. They prayed to him, saying, "Lord Shiva, live a happy life with Parvati and protect us." They got his blessings and grace and attained Shiva Kadaksh and bid goodbye to him and started from there. They reached their respective places, enjoying and talking with devotion the greatness of that marriage ceremony. Even 100 years will not be sufficient to say elaborately Deva's happiness and Lord Shiva's anugraha. So Shiva's sages, I could not refuse to you all, so I said what I thought. O sages of Naimisaranya, who overhears the wedding attire Mahotsav story of the divine auspicious Shiva Murti or a sloga in it, or the meaning of that sloga, will get all wealth, all Aishwarya and Kanya Labh with fullness. Sudha Mahamuni said so.